Greetings. We are Anonymous. Lately, US and DPRK relations have never been more tense as they are currently. The plague of warfare has instilled both fear and dread within the populace. The coming of a new war is upon us. Sources say, will these two leaders be foolish enough to enact a grand war that will harm and displace millions of lives who have nothing to do with this politically driven situation? Have world leaders become so bitter to the point of holding their own citizens hostage? Indeed, some may say that a war is of great need to shut up whatever nation is trifling with world peace. Listen, as much as we want to expose every evil organization in the world, as much as we want to shut down every news site that is manipulating its citizens, and as much as we want to make the world one of peace, we cannot. We have limits just like any other being. People have fallen for the illusion that Anonymous is a great entity of power and strength. And it is, but to a certain degree. Remember, we are fueled by the people and only the people. If you want to expose evil organizations, do it. If you want to shut down news sites that are manipulating its people, go for it. If you want world peace, we are all with you. Anonymous is here to inspire, not to lecture. Anonymous is here to guide, not to preach. Our world is in a moment of great imbalance. As much as you want us to scare bad people into the darkness, we would much rather want to pull them out of the darkness and into the light. We try our best to not feed the people with conspiracies and pseudo-thinking. We want heroes. We need them. We need you. This is no hipster operation. The operation's objective is simply to inspire and guide the younger generations, because on them rests the future. The way we sculpt the young is the way our world will look tomorrow. We must be prudent. We must be brave before it's too late. In any case, if world war breaks out, we have a special operation under the works in case it ever happens. But in the meantime, Operation Save the Peace. Engaged. We are Anonymous. We are Legion. We forgive, but we never forget. To the darkness. Expect us.
So he's continuing to fuel these questions and raise some eyebrows with these very cryptic remarks that the president has been making lately. He was asked just there on the South Lawn, what is the one thing that he believes will work in North Korea? And instead of specifying, he just told the reporter that they're going to figure it out pretty soon. Now, that question was asked because of a tweet that the president had made just shortly before then, where he lamented what he believes are decades of failed policy in North Korea, saying, presidents and their administrations have been talking to North Korea for 25 years. Agreements made and massive amounts of money paid. Hasn't worked. Agreements violated before the ink was dry, making fools of U.S. negotiators. Sorry, but only one thing will work.
US President Donald Trump has made a veiled threat to North Korea, claiming years of diplomacy with the rogue state have failed. In typical Trump style, the president shared his thoughts on Twitter, saying presidents and their administrations have been talking to North Korea for 25 years. Agreements made and massive amounts of money paid. Hasn't worked. Agreements violated before the ink was dry, making tools of US negotiators. Sorry, but only one thing will work. It comes after Mr. Trump made vague comments about the calm before the storm in relation to the ongoing North Korean nuclear tensions.
You guys know what this represents? Well, maybe it's the calm before the storm.
What's the storming?
Could be calm before the storm.
What storm, Mr.
We have the
President?
world's great military people in this room. I will tell you that. And we're going to great evening. Thank you all for coming. Thank you.
What storm, Mr. President?
You'll find out. over $700 billion is getting us back to the position we have to be. Almost never have we needed great, powerful, strong, and brilliant military. And that's where we are, and that's where we're going, and going very rapidly. Moving forward, I also expect you to provide me with a broad range of military options when needed at a much faster pace. I know that government bureaucracy is slow, but I am depending on you to overcome the obstacles of bureaucracy. Finally, I want to thank each and every one of you for the immense personal sacrifices you and your family make on behalf of our great country. Your patriotism, selflessness, and courage are an inspiration to me and an inspiration to our entire nation. I look forward to our discussion today, and I look especially forward to being with you and your spouses a little bit later, where we will have dinner, but I know we'll still be talking about what we all enjoy talking about. And perhaps our spouses have some better ideas than even we do, but I hope not. But I think that could be possible. So again, thank you all for being here. We appreciate it very much, and thank you all very much. I appreciate it. We'll be looking into that over the next short period of time. We'll be looking into that over the next short period of time.
Does the NRA announcement provide some affirmation of the need to make a change?
Thank you all very much. Thank you. You'll be hearing about Iran very shortly. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody.
Mr. President, what did you mean by calm before the storm? What did you mean by that?
Thank you very much. You'll find out.
Thank you.
We'll see.
Fortsätta ytterligare 50 meter efter framtiden.
It's wonderful to be with all of you again. As I said during our last meeting, my number one priority as Commander-in-Chief is to keep our people safe and to empower you, our senior military leaders, to do what you do best. Nobody does it better than the people in this room, believe me. We have many pressing national security issues facing our country. In addition to devastating natural disasters, we have had some big natural disasters, and some of you know exactly because your people have done an incredible job, and I appreciate it. But recently, we have had challenges that we really should have taken care of a long time ago, like North Korea and the revisionist powers that threaten our interests all around the world. It falls on the people in this room to defend the American people from these threats. I know we share a belief in putting the safety and the well-being of the American people first, and I look forward to hearing from you and your ideas. We'll be going to dinner right after this, and we'll be discussing it further. But I look very much forward to discussing certain things right now, and we have certain very critical areas that we will be discussing. In North Korea, our goal is denuclearization. We cannot allow this dictatorship to threaten our nation or our allies with unimaginable loss of life. We will do what we must do to prevent that from happening, and it will be done if necessary, believe me. In addition, we must not allow Iran to obtain nuclear weapons. The Iranian regime supports terrorism and exports violence, bloodshed, and chaos across the Middle East. That is why we must put an end to Iran's continued aggression and nuclear ambitions. They have not lived up to the spirit of their agreement. In all areas, I want to ensure that our armed forces have the funding, the readiness, and the force capacity to be successful. Our budget this year, as you know, well over $700 billion, is getting us back to the position we have to be. Almost never have we needed great, powerful, strong, and brilliant military. And that's where we are, and that's where we're going, and going very rapidly. Moving forward, I also expect you to provide me with a broad range of military options when needed at a much faster pace. I know that government bureaucracy is slow, but I am depending on you to overcome the obstacles of bureaucracy. Finally, I want to thank each and every one of you for the immense personal sacrifices you and your family make on behalf of our great country. Your patriotism, selflessness, and courage are an inspiration to me and an inspiration to our entire nation.